All right, Pisces, this is your January 2021 Love Horoscope and Taroscope. I'm Ryan with Eros of Love. Welcome back to my channel. Before we get going, if you like these videos and we'd like to see more, please click and subscribe. It helps the channel and it's much appreciated. All right, Pisces, so January is a tense month. I am doing this video on January 7th. I meant to get these out earlier, but given some of the events over the last day, I needed to take a little bit of a break and kind of regroup. But I want you to know that January is a tense month and it doesn't necessarily get any easier. So I want to give you the heads up on a few things and then we'll get into the love portion of your reading. The sun, which it points to where your focus will be at for the month, is in Capricorn, and Capricorn is your 11th house. It is 11 signs past Pisces. The 11th house is all about groups, friends, social networks. It's also about the future. It's about technology and innovation. It's ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is sitting in your third house of communication. So the third house and the 11th house are going to be big themes for all of January 2021. So things could be changing in your future. You could be reviewing group associations. You could be reviewing friends over the month. Your future hopes, wishes, and dreams. Any of those things will likely come up all over January. The sun's going to be in Capricorn until January 19th, and then it's going to move into Aquarius until February 18th. And Aquarius is your 12th house of endings. The subconscious is about rest and karma, and we'll get more to that in February. But just know for the rest of January, for the majority of January, it's going to be sitting in that 11th house of friends, group associations, and social networks. So be sure you're getting yourself out there. There could be little treasures here and there sitting with your associations. The dispositor for all of January is Mars, and Mars has been camped out in Aries in your second house of earned income and resources and self-worth for the last 6 months. Mars has been in Aries due to a retrograde motion longer than it stays normally, but yesterday was the last day that Mars was in Aries, and the last degree of every sign is called the anaretic degree, and it can be quite tense. And that's exactly what we saw yesterday in Washington. It brings out a lot of aggression. Mars is the god of war. It can represent assertiveness, aggression. It's your drive and passion. But at that last degree in its home sign, Mars rules Aries. It can be incredibly warlike. And we saw that play out yesterday. Mars is going to form a series of squares, hard challenges, 90-degree angles over to the planets sitting in Aquarius, which is your 12th house. So for you, this is going to come up. This is going to bring up a lot of stuff that is unseen, things that you didn't expect. It's clearing out karmic sludge. It's also about rest and the subconscious. So Pisces, if you're getting any psychic downloads over the course of the next month, be sure you're paying attention to that. Write them down and follow through, because the universe is going to be sending you messages throughout all of January. So let's begin. January 8th, Messenger Mercury. This is what's on your mind. This is what you're thinking about. This is how you communicate. Is going to be in Aquarius, the 12th house. It's finishing its transit through Capricorn. And it's going to be making a square over to Mars, which just moved out of Aries, and now it's in Taurus. Taurus is your third house. Taurus is 3 signs past Pisces. The third house is all about communication. It's about your emails, your text messages, the way you speak. It's also about siblings and short distance travel. So Messenger Mercury forming a hard angle over to Mars. There could be some really intense communications on January 8th, which is tomorrow. On top of that, the moon is going to be making an opposition in Scorpio over to Mars, which is over in your third house. So the moon in Scorpio is your 9th house. Scorpio is 9 signs past Pisces. And the 9th house is all about ideals. It's about higher education. It's about your belief system. So if you're having any issues, with communication, the 12th house and the 9th house, you might be challenged right now. People might be challenging your personal beliefs. Where do we go from here? And the 12th house is things that you have to clear out through the karmic sludge. So if communication is intense, on January 8th. Be sure you're getting plenty of exercise, you're doing some yoga, and you're finding productive outlets for this excessive energy. The good news is that love planet Venus is going to be in Capricorn, and that is your 11th house of group associations and friends, and it's going to be making a harmonizing trine. Trines are blessings to Mars in that third house. So there might be some really good things coming from your group associations or friends, social networks. It's grounding energy. So if the 8th happens to be a tense day, look to friends to help you through it. January 13th, again, Mars is going to be making a hard angle, a 90-degree square over to Saturn. And we've actually seen this combination before back in August and September when Mars was in Aries and Saturn was in Capricorn. Now Mars is in Taurus, your third house of communication, short distance travel, siblings, making a hard angle over to Saturn in your 12th house of karma. Saturn is karma, it represents karma, the subconscious, it's rest. Mars wants to move forward, it's aggressive, it's assertive, and Saturn is delay and restriction. It's telling you, it's giving you the yellow light or even the red light. So be sure you're slowing down. You might be wanting to move something forward, but Saturn right now in that 12th house is saying you were going to have to wait a little bit. On top of that, January 13th, there's going to be a new moon. And the new moon always occurs when the moon conjoins with the sun. This is going to occur in Capricorn, and that is your 11th house of group associations, friends, hopes, wishes, and dreams, global communications. And basically what this is telling me, especially, it's a time to plant new seeds. It's the new lunar cycle. It's a time to put into motion something that you want. It's a great time for new projects, going out and starting something new on a social network, anything to that effect with friends, or even your New Year's resolution list. This is a good time to start putting that forward on that new moon on January 13th. The thing is, the new moon is going to be conjoining with Pluto, and Pluto represents the underworld. Pluto is secrets. Pluto is power. Pluto rules Scorpio, so it's things unseen, it's secrets, it's going deep, it can be very emotional. The moon represents emotion. And Pluto can bring up a lot of things during this day. So I wouldn't be surprised if secrets are revealed around January 13th, especially with that Mars squaring Saturn. That is big power dynamics. It's power struggles. It's going to be a very intense day on the national level and on the personal level. On top of that, Neptune, which is your ruling planet, is in your home sign. It's in your first sign. And Mars and Saturn are going to be making semi-squares, which are 45-degree angles over to Neptune. So you're going to be triggered through January 13th because you're right in the middle of that, and your ruling planet is in your home sign. So what I'm going to say is be sure you are taking care of your health. We could see spikes in COVID this day. Neptune does represent health and viruses and the pandemic. So be sure you're protecting yourself and wearing masks, because January 13th is a triggering day and we might see some major spikes around the COVID virus around this time. The good news, again, is that Venus in your 11th house is going to help ground some of this energy with the trine over to Uranus. Again, these are blessings. Uranus is sitting in your third house of communication. Venus is in your 11th house of groups, friends, associations, hopes, wishes, and dreams. So there might be some good things coming, or some unexpected news coming from the friends sector around that time. So pay attention to what's happening on the 13th. But remember, this is a stressful day. A lot of power dynamics. Get plenty of exercise. Be sure to do some yoga. January 20th, this is an explosive day. Mars traveling through Taurus is now going to conjoin Uranus, which has been in Taurus for quite some time. And on top of it, the moon, which is the public tone and emotion, is right there as well. So all three of these planets are going to be in your third house of communication. This is explosive. Uranus is the great liberator. It works through shock and awe. We might even see some natural disasters these days, but it is explosive energy. Uranus also represents rebellion. So we're probably likely to see a lot on, A lot on the rebellion front, it's similar things we've seen on January 6th, and it works through shock and awe, and then you have the moon on top of it. It adds an element of public tone and just very high emotional energy that day. So I can't stress enough, be sure you are getting plenty of exercise and you're taking care of your health that day, because it's a very triggering day. And it's happening in your third house of communication, siblings, and short distance travel. If you can stay home, shelter in place, and not really go out that day, I would say that's probably a safe bet. And that's also inauguration day. Be sure you're watching what's happening on the news. Mars continues its challenging squares on the 23rd. Now it's going to be squaring Jupiter, expansive Jupiter. And remember, Jupiter just expands whatever it is aspecting. Mars can be very aggressive. It can be assertive. It's our drive and ambition. Jupiter sitting in your 11th house now. This is actually your 12th house. It's in Aquarius. So again, this is about karma. This is about the subconscious. This is about rest, going deep and clearing out all of the karmic sludge. So when Mars squares Jupiter, this points to premature action. So you're going to want to look before you leap on the 23rd. Don't do anything impulsively, because that can produce some pretty severe consequences. The good news, again, is Venus. Venus is sitting in the 11th house of Capricorn, groups, friends, associations. And it's going to be making a sextile, which is an opportunity, over to Neptune, which is in your first house. So there's an opportunity here with friends, with the future, with technology and innovation, and something coming from other people. So pay attention to what's happening with your friends, your social networks, global communications. There's something here. There's an opportunity here to be found for you, Pisces, on the 23rd. But don't act too prematurely, because Mars and Jupiter can create some impulsive action. January 26th, the sun, which is going to be in Aquarius, that is your 12th house, is going to be squaring Uranus in the third house of communication. This is a tense day. This is a day when people want change. Again, Uranus represents rebellion, shock and awe. It's a tense day. So again, if you can take the energy down, ground it in maybe some music, find creative ways to unleash. Pisces, you are very creative. You live in the dream state usually, but if you can take that energy down and put it into something productive, you can utilize this energy, which can be quite intense. And that's, again, on the 26th, sun in the 12th. It could be anything. The 12th house is reserved for the universe to correct anything that it needs to, and making that square over to Uranus and your third house of communication. There could be some surprising communication on the 26th. Venus is still moving through your 11th house of Capricorn. Venus is going to move through your 11th house of Capricorn, and now it's going to conjoin with Pluto. And we just talked about Pluto with that new moon on the 13th. The Venus-Pluto combination can create a lot of passion. It's a good day for romance if you're looking for it, but it can also be secrets revealed in that 11th house. So something could come up that you don't expect with friends, groups, associations, again, global communications, technology and innovation in your future. So be sure you're really paying attention to who you're around that January 28th timeframe, because again, Pluto represents endings. It's power dynamics, and when Venus is conjoining it, this can bring back past life lovers as well. It's got a very amorphous quality to it. So if you're looking for love, it's a good day, but Venus-Pluto combination can be quite explosive as well. It's got a lot of passion, but sometimes you just can't sustain all of that heat for so long. So be aware of that. January 30th, told you this was a crazy month. Now Mercury, messenger planet Mercury, which is sitting in that 12th house of the subconscious, of endings, is going to retrograde from January 30th through February 21st. That's a 3-week period. Mercury retrogrades are all about communication, travel, but in the 12th house, again, this could be almost anything. It's the universe's house to correct any wrongs, and it's also karma. It's karma essentially. So be very careful during this time period. Take things slow. It's a time for review and readjustment. So whatever comes up during that time, just know this is a 3-week period, and you're going to start getting indications of what this is, because Venus is going to move through these degrees by which it's going to retrograde around January 15th. So really pay attention to what's happening around January 15th through the 30th, because that's when Mercury is going to start its retrograde through Aquarius. So that's a lot, Pisces. Again, a lot happening in your 12th house of endings, new beginnings, the subconscious, and a lot on that 3rd house of communication, siblings, and short distance travel. So surprises are going to come up, challenges are going to come up. Take things slow. Do as much yoga, get as much exercise as you possibly can. Creative projects would be good because it's going to be an intense time. And January 20th and 13th are very triggering days. So if you can go do something, take off work, be with family if you can, be with friends. Again, your 11th house is being triggered quite a bit here. There's some good things that can come from that sector of your chart right now. All right, Pisces, we're going to pull some cards from the Angels Oracle. We're going to take a look at your love department. Not a lot on love right now. That's okay. It's coming, though. You're going to have to wait a little bit, but that doesn't mean that love can't be found at any time. Remember, this is a general reading. These messages will not resonate with all of you. If you're looking for a personal reading, my email is in the description box below. We can set up some time. But otherwise, take a look at your ascendant, moon, and Venus. Sometimes those signs and planets will resonate more with you, so those videos will be up. I'm going to give the tarot another shuffle here for you, Pisces. All right, let's take a look, see what's happening for you. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Maybe you got someone on the radar. Maybe you're hoping to bring someone in. You're doing some manifesting skills, Pisces. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Don't doubt yourself. You are worth every piece that you put into yourself. So, worth waiting for. Romantic feelings are on the way. All right, Pisces, let's pull some tarot to clarify what's going on here. One more shuffle. That 12th house can bring up a lot of things. So maybe you'll meet someone during this time. The sun's going to be in your 12th house, February 18th through about March 21st or so. So let's take a look. All right. Strength. Ace of Cups. Very nice. This is an offer. All right, the Tower. We'll talk about that. Nine of Swords. Wheel of Fortune. What is going on with you, Pisces? And the Queen of Cups. All right, you got a lot going on. Okay, so Pisces, worth the wait. Divine timing is in work on your love life. And the very next card here is the Strength card. So you're going to have to use some inner strength here. If you're single and looking, this is asking you to tame the beast. Or you might be interested in a Leo. This also represents Leo. The very next card here, though, is a great card. This is a card of love. This is the Ace of Cups. This is the new cycle. This is also potentially an offer of some type. It's the hand reaching out to give you something. But the very next card here is the Tower. And the Tower always shows up when something isn't built on a solid foundation. So when things aren't built on a solid foundation, that's when lightning strikes. So something has to be taken down in order for it to be built back up. So maybe you're trying to rebuild that love life. Maybe you're trying to rebuild that confidence in yourself to get back out there, right? With strength, starting that new cycle. There's a lot. Venus is sitting in your 11th house of groups, friends, and associations. So if you are looking, now is a good time to get out there on some dating apps. It's also a time of endings. Saturn and Jupiter are sitting through that endings period. So maybe you already had this tower moment worth waiting for. You're trying to build that strength to start the new, right? But your feelings are worth exploring here. To me, this looks like you're kind of obsessing about it. This is the obsession card. This is the guy that can't sleep at night because of his thoughts. So something may have happened here and it's really bothering you and you're having a hard time sleeping. We're going through a very stressful time in January. It's not surprising to me. Other signs have gotten this too, especially in that 12th house. It's a difficult house to go through. Saturn and Jupiter are going to be transiting through there for the next, Saturn's going to be there for another 2 years, and then Jupiter is going to be in Aquarius until May, and then it's going to be in your sign. So that's very benefic for you. Jupiter is your ancient ruler, and Jupiter's lucky. It just expands whatever it's near. So if things have been a little bit rough right now, Pisces, just know that good things are coming your way, but you're going to have to clear out some of the karmic sludge first. And that's exactly what this is saying to you. Your fortunes are changing, and they're coming very quick because that 12th house clears out all the karmic sludge. This is also a very lucky card. But in order to turn the wheel on the right path, something has to end. So the universe probably took it out. Could have been quite dramatic. But the good news is the very last card here is the Queen of Cups. And this very well could be you. The Queen of Cups represents a water sign. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. She's emotionally intelligent. She's very intuitive. She knows what she wants. And she's connected to the divine because one foot's in the water. Water represents spirituality. So it's calling upon you to use your intuition here about which path to go down next. Because the wheel of fortune is turning for you. And you got to make sure it's turning in the right direction. So if you're obsessing about anything, if you're dealing with a tower moment, or if the tower moment's already come, just know you're going to make it through this, but it's going to require you to rebalance a little bit, to use the intuition, to start the new journey in love, to let go of the old, things that aren't working for you, to realign yourself. All right, let's pull one more card for the outcome. Yeah, I like this for you, Pisces. So the Tower can be quite dramatic. The Nine of Swords can be a rough one to get through. So the outcome here is you need to rest. The Four of Swords is all about rest and healing. It's time to heal yourself. It's time to let go of those things that are not serving your highest purpose. And to recraft yourself, to have a rebirth of yourself so you can put yourself out there and reclaim the romantic feelings that you're looking for, to revitalize a partnership, to let go of partnerships that are not serving you anymore, and to start that new cycle. The Ace of Cups is a wonderful card, but something likely had to end to get there. Take some time to heal, Pisces. Good things are coming your way. Your romantic feelings, if you got someone on the radar right now, if you're obsessing about something right now, people are going to come and go all year. Just know that. But you have to heal yourself. You have to put yourself out there, and you are worthy of love. If you've enjoyed this video, Pisces, again, please subscribe, click that like button, and I hope to hear from you next time. Take care of yourself in January. Get plenty of exercise, do some meditation and some yoga, and we'll see you in February.